So as you guys know, a few months ago, I bought one of my unicorn bucket list Panther cars. And that's his 2002 Crown Victoria LX Sport with the floor shifter. Now, sadly, the previous owner sold the OEM LX Sport rims the car had originally come with, and instead installed a set of these black on chrome Mustang bullet rims instead. And now, we know that bullet rims are the peanut butter and jelly of the Panther world. Those two things just go together. However, on a true LX Sport, anything but the factory OEM rims is just 100% pure blasphemy. So as you guys can see, I took off and sold the bullet rims, and the old LX Sport has been riding on these P71 steely placeholders in the meantime. So after months, and I mean months of looking literally every place you can possibly imagine, I was finally able to get my hands on the rarest OEM Crown Victoria rims ever made. These rims were Ford's original vision to what a sporty Crown Victoria should have looked like. And so, after a 3-hour trip, I secured myself one of the holy trinities of the Crown Victoria world. You guys ready for it? Check it out. Here we go. Now, before I reveal the car to you guys, you might be saying to yourself, this guy drove 3 hours to Memphis for a set of Crown Victoria rims. Well, after you're done watching this video, you're going to see that that was a very justified long-ass trip. That's because the rims you guys are about to see have a market value close to $200 per rim for some old-ass Crown Victoria rims. But I didn't pay $200 per rim. I didn't pay $100 per rim. I picked up the entire set, all four ultra rare Crown Victoria LX Sport rims for $250 for the entire set. Particular LX Sport rims are from a 2003 model Crown Vic. That's because the 2001 to 2002 rims are even harder to find, with only being produced for 2 years. Now, for those of you guys wondering, there actually is some very subtle differences between the 01 and 02 rims and the 2003 and up rims. Now, visually, some of those very subtle differences are these grooves right here on the spokes of the rims. As you guys can see, on the 03 and up models, this whole part right here is pretty much straight. That'll be the difference. This part right here is straight. And on the 2001 to 2002 models, it's actually arched. There's an arch, a circle arch right at the bottom here. There's a small little visual difference. That way you guys know if you're looking at an 01 to 02 or 03 and up models. This right here, this center cap, the Ford logo, this little Ford logo is actually smaller on the 03 and up rims. But by far the biggest differences between the first gen and second gen rims is going to be the offset and the back spacing. Now, we all know how the 2003 and up model Panther cars received an upgraded rack and pinion steering system. This is a 2002 model, so it still has that old gearbox, traditional, old school, from the frickin' 70s style steering system. Well, along with that upgraded rack and pinion system for the 03 and up models, guess what else was upgraded? The rims. Part of the upgrade was a slightly, and I mean slightly altered back spacing and wheel offset on the newer model rims. So essentially what that meant was wider wheels and beefier tires. Naturally, wider wheels, beefier tires means a slight improvement in handling over the older 1998 and 2002 models. So then the question you guys might be asking yourself is, well, if this is a 2002 model, how the hell am I running 2003 rims? Well, the answer to that is very simple, guys. I'm using 2-inch hub-centric spacers all the way around. Now, I wish I could say it was all rainbows and sunshines. Drove 3 hours to freaking Memphis to get me these super rare Crown Victoria rims. I wish I could have said it just all was simple, but you know, when you're dealing with cars, it's never simple. Something always has to go wrong. And of course, I found a very nasty little surprise with one of these rims when I installed it when I got back home. Now, that nasty little surprise led me to a rabbit hole to find just one damn replacement rim for this car. At the end of that rabbit hole, I discovered truly just how rare these rims are. So just go ahead and watch this little clip I took for you guys of what it is that I had to deal with. A little surprise that I discovered when I got home. Check this clip out real quick. To give you guys an example as to just how rare these rims are getting, this is a brand new LX Sport rim that I had to order. This cost me about $165. Some of them are even going for $180. One rim, $165. Keep in mind, you see these 4 Mustang rims right here? I'm selling these for 150 bucks, all 4 of them, right? This costs more. Just one rim costs more than what you can get a pair of old base Mustang rims for. But it gets worse. But before I tell you how it gets worse, this is one of the original rims that came with it, but it was really wobbly. And when I looked at the other side of it, well, you can tell they tried torching it to try to kind of maybe bend the rim back to its original form where it didn't have that wobble. But unfortunately, the wobble was so severe, I had to order a rim. You go online, you'll find a place or two that sells these on Google. But if the 170 give or take price tag for one rim doesn't turn you off, it gets worse, because you have to provide the VIN number for your LX Sport in order to get one of these. And then I did some digging, and it turns out that these rims are coming from the actual dealerships. I had to get in contact with a Lincoln Ford dealership in order to get this replacement OEM LX Sport rim. It turns out that their supply is dwindling. They're down to such a low amount that they're having to verify VIN numbers to make sure that the owners actually own a true LX Sport. If that doesn't tell you guys just how rare and hard to find and expensive these OEM Crown Victoria Sport rims are, then hell. Now, another thing about these rims that has been kept secret that I probably shouldn't say, because it's probably going to drive up the prices on these things. It's going to make it skyrocket. And that is that a lot of OG Panther car owners install these very rims on their Panther cars, from P71 Crown Vics, even on Mercury Marauders. You see, the LX Sport rims, particularly the 2nd gen rims, are considered the Goldilocks of OEM Panther car rims. And it all comes down to 2 words, and that's rotational mass. In the case of the Marauder, the 18-inch OEM rims are too heavy for the underpowered 4,000-pound car. And the difference in tire sizes, with the rear tires being larger than the front tires from factory, also plays into this. And yes, it might seem crazy, but there actually is a small number of Marauder owners who've actually swapped to the LX Sport rims and noticed a drastic change in both acceleration and braking. And the same can be said for P71 owners. And that's because the P71 Police Steelies are actually almost a full inch wider than the LX Sport rims. So from Marauders to freaking P71 owners, one thing everybody has in common that they've all raved about is that there actually is some kind of significant difference in the handling and performance when swapping over to the LX Sport rims. Guys, Ford knew exactly what they were doing when they designed the 2nd gen LX Sport rims. So I'm going to say this now. If you guys happen to run across a set of these collecting dust at a junkyard or being sold on Marketplace, my advice to you is scoop them up before these rims also go the way that the Panther platform is going. And that is slowly driving off into the sunset, also called extinction. You'd be surprised the amount of YouTube videos that are out there of these things being derbied, not only by Cletus McFarland, but there's a whole bunch of other private YouTubers, just people, you know, who just don't know any better, that don't really care. These things are being destroyed in droves. Scoop one up, save yourself a Panther today, man. Maybe an LX Sport with some OG LX Sport rims. Either way, it's your boy Mr. Random. Catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.